My name is Ibim Isaacs, actor, filmmaker, and by grace, the producer of Mother of Alexia. And today, we are doing what has not been done before, because I feel that filmmaking is for the large-hearted, those who have the guts to break even. I'll start by saying that the world should know that Ibim Isaacs and his crew are the first to hold a conference about filmmaking in Nollywood State. I can beat our chest to say, we'll do it again and again and again. Having said that, the movie Mother of Alexia is produced by the film company Sugar Hill Studios that's collaborating with Eastern Dove Media and Dizzy Frames. I'll also say at this point too that these three companies are 100% Port Harcourt. I will say that with their own funds, they've touched more lives than any other person can say. I stand to be corrected. With their own funds, without any form of public funding. Now, why are we making Mother of Alexia? One, we're making a movie that is new, daring, and profitable. Save the word. New, daring, and profitable. When I say new, if I have to ask, what do you think a regular Nollywood movie is? We can, without describing, call like 10 movies. We can understand what I say, this is new. For business sake also, don't bother asking about the storyline, I won't tell you. Don't also ask me about the stars, I won't also tell you. When you come to the cinema, trust me, you understand why I've held it back, or why I and my team have held that back. Then we say daring. We may not be able to achieve what Hollywood has achieved. Why? Because our founding fathers have squeezed the word integrity off this business. So it makes it very impossible for us to get that kind of funding to make that kind of movie you want to see. How do you feel if you see James Bond being shot in Port Harcourt? It's very possible. We have the men that can bring the money, but our founding fathers, quote me, have squeezed integrity off. So to each investor you meet, telling him, we can pull this off, it tells you, I've met this person before, I've given him this amount of money and he has eaten it. So please don't blame the Yahoo boy. When our elders don't give us anything to work to eat, we make food for ourselves. And when we make food for ourselves, we make any kind of food for ourselves. But again, I and my team, we are here to let you know that there's a way beyond that kind of life. I will say this also, that Mother of Alexia started from a simple Facebook post. And everybody in this hall today told me we can do it. And we've come this far because every single person in Port Harcourt has told us we are going to get it right in Port Harcourt, with or without funding from a government or from a big investor. Some time ago, I said on my social media handle that every single soul in Port Harcourt is behind the project Mother of Alexia. It's not because anybody has given me 1 million naira or 1,000 naira. It's because the support is all we need to break even. Quote me again, if you think Lagos has love, you've not seen Port Harcourt love. It cannot be matched anywhere in the world. Yes, that's why our artists are the most envied. Because as small as we are, we tell the world the pace to follow. So when next they ask where you're from, tell them that you're from a town that made the first Grammy Award winner in Nigeria. We are Port Harcourt. We don't fail. We don't fail. We set the trend. Now, we set profitable. Each and everybody wants to invest his 1,000 naira and make 2,000, 3,000. So we are telling you that if you think crypto pays you, if If you think MMM pays you, you've not seen film money. Yes. Film can pay you for the next 10 years. There is no, what they call the crypto when the currency goes down, when it slides,
Deeping.
when it goes deep. There's no deeping in film because people will watch every day. So 4-5 years from now, someone will watch more of Alexia because of the quality we are putting. Sorry, we have a foreign DP on this set. Yeah, that's the bragging right too. So I would say invest in it. It means that whatever you put in, you're sure of getting 120% interest. Don't misquote me. So if you give me 1 million naira, I'll give you 1 million naira and 20% of 1 million naira as your return on investment. That means everybody making this film is standing on the altar of integrity and professionalism. I think in Port Harcourt it's like 1 out of 10,000, and we are privileged to be amongst that 1 in 10,000. It's not a bragging right. It is what we've done over and over and over again. The least person in my crew has more than 10 years experience when it comes to film, and none of them has the story of I gave him money and he ate it. I came for his audition and he told me to sleep with him for a role, or he told me to pay him or pay her to act in his or her film. We can beat our chest. Feel free to Google, feel free to ask questions. If I find that person, or if you find that person, that they will fire the person. But I stand to be corrected also that we don't have such a person in my team. Where will this film be shot? Nowhere else in Port Harcourt. Why are we doing this in Port Harcourt? They've sold the knowledge, they've sold the story that Port Harcourt is no place for film. But they've not seen GRA, they've not seen Ropoku, they've not seen Woji, they've not seen D-Line. They don't know how much they've spent in building houses down at Wimpy and Aji. But how would they see it if we don't make the films? If we don't expose Port Harcourt? If we don't let them come and explore the potentials of this city? I will say this, nobody can do it except us. I will quote my friend Roy Clayton. He said, nobody can tell the Port Harcourt story better than us in Port Harcourt. So if you feel it's an Ibim Isaacs thing, sorry, you failed already. Because I have the leverage to go somewhere else and make it. Maybe act like our veterans who ran away and left us where we are now. They don't come back home. But what are the big films? I will wish they came back home to support us. But we are flying without wings. How are we doing it? We don't know. But we'll do it all the same. So this presentation is first of all to say thank you to everybody that has supported and to tell you, look, we can do more. Having said that, I'm going to introduce us to the crew behind the project. So you have I myself, Ibim Isaacs, as the producer and writer of the said project. You have Mr. Jude Ayamu, the director of the movie. We have director of photography being Dondizi, director, production designer David Campbell, unit production manager O.J. Emmanuel, line producer Simon Nicholas Pius, art director Alan George, first assistant director is Godwin Abia, second assistant director, Director Gas, supervisor of script is Benita Ugo, location Jerome Batubo, gaffer Jack Endurance, sound recordist Owus Simon, makeup Elizabeth, special effects makeup is Chim Chetam, costume designer Eukaria Annie. And having said this, again, there are people who have told us that if no one tells you yes, we can tell you yes. I call them our sponsors. And I'll begin by saying thank you to them, thank you to everybody that has believed in us with their money. The first person I want to say thank you is the mayor of housing. The second person is Omega Broadway Entertainment, our technical sponsors. We have our partners also in Night House Lords, EI Entertainment, Talkaholic Entertainment, Myros Entertainment. All these persons have told us, in our own way, we'll get you a movie that's going to stand tall anywhere in the world. We are not saying television, we are not saying social media, we are saying foreign film festivals. So how will we feel if you have a Port Harcourt film somewhere as far as America, in Toronto Film Festival or Berlin Film Festival? I guess we'll feel very proud of ourselves. And that is exactly what we're talking about. And we can't do it without each and every one of you. So we'll come to your homes, we'll ask for your cars, we'll ask for your parlors, we'll ask for your clothes, we'll ask for your 1,000, we'll ask for your 50 million, we'll ask for your shares, we'll ask for your likes, we'll ask for everything possible to make this project a reality. So far, I'm very sure that we won't get a no from you. Having said that again, I will say, thank you, Port Harcourt. And proudly I will say, there is no better time to be a Port Harcourt person than now. Thank you and God bless you. Okay, thank you very much, sir. It's no small one, I will say. It's no small one. One of the letters will cost us 40 million naira. Aside publicity. Thank you very much, sir.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jude Ayao. I'm the director of this production. To answer your question, I'm someone who criticizes a lot. When I look at your film, I'm like, what's this now? You guys can do better. And then when I look at the storylines, I'm like, this is too regular now. But when I saw this script, when I read it, I shook, or I was shaking. I was like, how did this come about? I put a call to the writer, to him. Alpha, how did this story come about? The plotting, the whole thing is just different. You understand? So that's why we decided. Personally, as a director, I've been seriously pushing. There are some limits that were set for this. I said, if we have to do this and do it right, we have to break out of this box. We have to go the extra mile. To the extent of using cranes in the street, to the extent of even involving police commissioners, if it's possible, we involve them. To the extent of shooting in the night, to whatever extent. So this is why this is going to be very, very different. And then we have partners also that are working with us on this project, and we can't afford to let them down also. This film is expected to be extremely profitable. In fact, it's going to be very, very profitable. So we have to also do everything within our powers to make sure that our partners also get their, what's the English, please?
ROI.
The ROI, yeah, return on investment appropriately. Does that answer your question, please?
Yeah. Let's have a more questions.
Okay, I'll still, to further, the person who asked the question is a very tricky fellow, so I'll try as much as I can to be very smart about asking this question. One of my most respected Port Harcourt directors will always say that content is key. And yesterday I got to understand that before you talk about return on investment, you must have a braggable content. Now, the reason why Mother of Alexia is different is very simple. We are banking on 1000% quality. And when I mean 1000%, I mean 1000% from the point of colors to the point of camera picture texture, soundtrack. So when I say holistically that the difference is, aside the story, is the depth of quality we're going to be dishing out come September. at the cinemas. Thank you so much. First, I'll go up close. I'll take that back. It's not a hype. We're not hyping. Hype it's when you've seen the product and it's not worth it. So we are not at that point where we can call it a hype. Now, we've seen a whole of blockbuster movies. Yes, even in Hollywood, movies that are not up to what was announced. But that's because the marketing plot was to sell you a fake. But that's not what's happening here. I will say this, I've done auditions twice looking for just one character. I don't think I'll do that if I want to sell you a fake. Secondly, this is my town. Nobody owns this town more than Ibim Isaacs. I own this town. Right? So I don't want to walk the streets tomorrow and someone tells me, see the film producer who told us that he was going to take us around the world, and nothing came out from it. So everybody in our team is making sure that you can. Okay, I told my director, I said, when we're done with the movie, if people come to the cinema and make a comment after the film, I'll give everybody a return or whatever they paid for the film, because I need everybody to leave the cinema spellbound, and that is not something you want to just say and go and sleep. So trust me, you will get the thriller also before the date of the premiere. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vibes TV. I'll say that I think nothing matters more than money to me. So I don't think what I'll say anything sensitive if I'm not talking about money. I'm the money man basically. Aside the fact that we'll be giving investors return on investment, we are going to be setting a new trend in Nollywood, which is using rookies to make a blockbuster movie. That means we are giving new actors a platform to fly. Now, when I said this, someone said it's a risk, and I asked the person, I said, when you watch those big TV series from Hollywood, when you watched some TV series that came from the West, did you know any actor? You didn't know any actor. They simply sold you something very good, and that's what made sense more than who the star actor is. I will say this with every sense of confidence. The people you call stars, the people you revere, the people you want to place so much value on, are product of proper marketing strategies. So if a film does not work, if the plan to market the film is not right, the same actor you felt was going to give you all the vibe is still going to give you a flop. So it's about the plan to market. So we are giving exposure to the city and also to new set of actors. I think Mr. Vibes and Henry almost the same kind of question. But I'll ask you, when last did you see a particular film on AMVC?
No.
I think there even was never. I'd have preferred none. Okay. So if you say never, it sounds like it's never gonna happen. Good. I think the same thing happened when Bonner said he's gonna bring home a Grammy. We felt it was never gonna happen. And someone would have asked him the same question, how are you gonna do that? And he just tell you simply with my music, right? So I'm answering your question. The new energy we're gonna bring in is with our film. So if you want Port Harcourt, if you feel that Port Harcourt has the right to own a space and the spotlight, this is it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ichabusu. Thank you very much. Okay. A film has, they say a film has 3 processes. Pre-production, principal photography, and post-production. That's further divided into marketing and editing and promotions and all of that. Now, for a film to work, it depends solely on not how long, but how much of pre-production plan is taken from the creative department down to the art department to the technical department and all of that. Now, the first success we have is that for Mother of Alexia, we have competent people manning the major heads, the major departments, sorry. So they are given a responsibility to bring the film on paper first. So if we want to be too daring, we want to let the media know how ready we are, we can actually show you a photo book of what Mother of Alexia is going to look like, from color palette to costume design to what the actors are going to look like for makeup and all of that. We have all of this on paper. So everybody is in sync. I'll say this, most times people feel that what I'm saying is putting him under pressure. Yeah. Because everybody is holding his paintbrush. We are helping him paint a picture. My job is to make the money men come and invest. My job also is to let him know that I have said so much and so much must be done. Now, the reason why he was employed, or we were employed by Sugar Hill Studios, is simply because we have a track record of executing whatever we've said we want to execute. So trust me, the actors and the crew, and also those who have shown us a little bit of support, we are all on the same page. And trust me, it's just more than words. You'll see it in action. Thank you. Thank you for the question. I said this before, that I was not going to go anything close to my story. Not even what is the theme of the film. Because we've taken so much risk. This, in as much as we want to act like there's more good than evil, we know that there are people who are more evil than good. We've taken so much risk to let out the name. Normally what they do is they have a shooting title and a release title. But we've taken the risk of letting the world know what our official title is. So if at the end of the day I want to premiere and I tell you I've changed the name, there'll be a little bit of fear, right? So I don't want to add to, by telling you again what the moral lesson is. But I will say this, adding to the 8th bracket, it's a film for the intelligent. It's not it's for very intelligent. So even if I tell you what the message is, when you watch it, if you're not smart, you won't see it. So it's like watching a regular Hollywood flick and you want to see the theme. The theme of the film, the message could be in someone's costume, his character, Bible and all of that, what he portrays. You know, for example, sorry to say this, what does Superman actually portray? Literally. You know, basically. So that's exactly what we are doing. So we are not going to unravel a whole lot because we're trying to be careful, but it's a movie for the intelligent. Thank you. TKC, thank you so much for the question. I will say this is not actually the biggest I've been part of. I think I've been, with all sense of humility to God, and I want to say this, that I've been in projects that have got above 500 because I've worked with those kind of people. I've gathered experience. Secondly, I'm the producer, but I'm not in charge of expenditure. So I've only placed a budget according to the level of needs there is a finance body who will follow up and make sure that every dime on the budget is properly spent. So when you ask that question, I like the fact that such questions come so that people can understand the level of production we are doing. I'm a producer. I have a line producer. I have a production manager. I have a coordinator. I have a production accountant. So how the money, my issue is to make the budget. How the budget is spent is placed in the hands of a professional body. Reasons for accountability and to make sure that funds are not recklessly spent, because there's an issue with creatives. A creative will go to any length, including overshooting his budget, to make sure that his idea comes. Now that's why films don't gross their what they expected to gross. Okay, because there was no plan for expenses. So here we'll solve that problem by making sure that there's somebody in charge of expenses. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you so much, Makera Igonowari. I take yours personal because I think there's a little bit of misinformation to a lot of things you said. First, I don't know how we judge growth, but I think we judge growth by social media likes and all of that. But I think some of us also have grown beyond that. I will also say this too. Media people, you can censor if you want to. I worked with Ebony Live for 2 years. I think that is there are only a few persons in Port Harcourt that have gone that far. A very few persons. So I have a laudable CV that I can speak anywhere in the world as a filmmaker. So that is about growth. Secondly, I've gone through 2 auditions. As I always say, if your talent can't show me potentials, I don't need you on my project. I'm that plain. So I'll keep finding, because I need people that have talent and have potentials. So it's one thing to be an actor, it's another thing to be a sellable actor. And that's why I am experienced in what I do, to find who a regular actor is and who a sellable actor also is. So it's not because you studied the vocation of acting, it's because you are an actor. And actors don't act, we live. Thank you very much.